Welcome back to the Astronomical Learners YouTube channel, where we talk about educational resources, literacy, and all things learning. So, today I wanted to introduce you to a new product that I have on my website called the Learn to Read at Home Digital Guide. So, today I'm going to walk you through how this guide is student and parent friendly and how you can use some free online resources at home. So when you go to my website, you are going to be on the home page. So you click on Printables, and you're going to see right here it is the free Learn to Read at Home digital guide. All right, so first off, here are some directions for parents and students. So, students, if you're watching this alone, please don't bring your parent or your guardian or your teacher or your tutor. Students, you want to understand that this is an old school rule, but it's a very good rule, is that you should ask for tech time before opening a laptop, a tablet, or if you have a phone, you should ask for these resources. And parents and tutors, you should impose a living room rule. This is very old school. We grew up with it, but computers used to be in common areas, and a lot of computers, when it comes to young students or even some teenagers, should not be in bedrooms. Parents, you want to be able to supervise and see what's going on. Also, for our younger learners, if they need help, you want to be able to be in arm's reach. So if they need help, they can get it. Also, students, browsing safety. So you want to understand that anything you see in this guide I'm going to recommend to your parents, but essentially, you should not click on anything on the internet that isn't outside of what's recommended to you. So, let's say you're watching a YouTube video and you see at the end of the video it says, "Oh, this is recommended for you." Please ask your parent if that's okay. I highly recommend the YouTube Kids portion if you use it personally, but definitely stay on the assigned channel or stay on the assigned website. Also, parents, try to sit with your kids at least for the first 5 minutes of a digital activity to ensure that the computer's working, the microphone's working, the volume is set correctly, because as soon as they have issues, they might click off or issues might happen. All right, so option one, this is completely optional and it's for parents. So you might not know that there is currently free training online that is available to you. So I did not go to school for education. I took these training resources. So Cox Campus is free. It has a full structured literacy, and they're even expanding more and more every day when it comes to how to add background knowledge and understand comprehension and the writing component. There's also Reading Universe. So they actually have a paraprofessional free course that you can take right now, but they have videos and a whole full taxonomy that shows and breaks down every single skill that if you get data from the school and your student's struggling in one area, it teaches you how to address that area. So, parents, before teaching your child a new sound, if you're interested, I highly recommend that you watch these videos or take the training to learn how to implement them the correct way. And it'll help you in your advocacy journey, because when your teacher, maybe they are partially going through training, or if they don't fully know training, you can learn the teacher talk. So if your student is having issues with saying certain sounds or connecting certain letters to sounds, you can use the terminology to help advocate. All right, next one. This is one I highly recommend, especially for older students. So let's say you have a student who's hitting the third grade wall and the school's saying, "Hey, we don't know what's going on. Our data says this," and you don't have any data from your home to compare to. This is a screening tool. It is by the National Center on Improving Literacy. It's called the Adolescent Assessment of Literacy tool. I believe it starts from third grade, but you can use it all the way up to a 12th grade level, and they recommend doing it in the fall. So this helps you advocate as a parent and also helps teachers identify what students are not likely to meet benchmark expectations in order to implement remediation or targeted interventions to help them reach those benchmark goals. So, this assessment is completely free. It identifies gaps for older learners, and they help follow the on screen prompts so your child can read specific passages. Now, this is also an optional foundation. I included this because I had a parent of a tutor student who said, "Hey, we're using Duolingo for Spanish and French, But do we have Duolingo for English? And I would tell you yes. And my daughter used it. She liked it. It's very gamified. This is Duolingo ABC. So it is on the Apple Play Store and the Google Play Store. I believe it's on the Amazon Play Store still as well. But it's a web app that uses multisensory skills to teach students how to see, hear, and trace letters. You can check the progress section. I believe it has like a data printout to see how their progress is being made, but it's a good additional foundational tool. Next, I want you to recommend that there is Alpha Blocks on YouTube and Nessie Learning on YouTube. So I learned about Alpha Blocks on the playground. My daughter was 2 years old and just starting to identify the alphabet letters. And there was a older kid on the playground and said, "Hey, she would really like Alpha Blocks." And I was like, "Oh, thanks for the recommendation." Turns out, yes, absolutely she did. And the math counterpart to it is called Number Blocks. So my kids both like Alpha Blocks and Number Blocks. And if you like Hand to Mind, they make resources that you can buy in store. I believe they have them at Target and Walmart. And then also twinkle.com, which is a website that you can pay for, but they also have freebies. They also partner with AlphaBox too, and these are all UK based resources. Nessie Learning, I highly recommend their YouTube channel. I do recommend they have free apps that help reinforce the phonics rules. They also have, if you want to pay for it, they have a program not just for reading, but also a dyscalculia aware math program, and it's focused on number sense. But a parent tip that I can give you is you can ask your child to echo the sounds that they hear on certain screens or the characters, the sounds they make, because that'll help them identify those sounds. All right, next, I want you to understand that this isn't a have to, but a lot of people see the benefits of multisensory instruction, and research does back explicit instruction. So, one channel on YouTube I will highly recommend is Reading Buddies. It is made by the Reading League and it is based on science of reading, and it's inspired by Mr. Rogers, and it's kind of like these shows that we grew up on as kids, but it focuses on Orton Gillingham training, on articulation, and breaking down these reading skills in a fun and friendly way. Also, if you're watching this, you are already doing one good job. You're watching Astronomical Learners. So, on my YouTube channel, I'm trying to provide high energy, explicit visuals to help parents, teachers, tutors, and children map the sounds to letters. I do have a cosmic science theme because that's what my kids love. That's what their generation tends to love. And so, parents, if you have a handheld mirror, this is a tip you can do. So while watching Reading Buddies or while watching my phonemic awareness video, you can ask your child, "Hey, does your mouth match the look of your teacher's mouth when you say a certain sound, like and use that mirror to kind of provide that visual feedback so the student understands, "Hey, I have to put my mouth in a certain position in order to say a sound that makes sense." All right, next, if you are interested in artificial intelligence, if you're not, you can move on, but this is an option you have. So they start out with a free trial, but you can pay for them, but this is Project Read AI. So they are using UFly, which is University of Florida structured literacy curriculum, and they are also available for school districts. But they have a decodable generator, which means that you can pick from the curriculum, "Hey, what skill are you working on?" And it'll create a decodable that will help your student learn to read. But their AI tutor uses this technology to help a student with their headphones on and a microphone, and the AI will show you a story and make sure that you're reading it clearly. They do have a correction feature. And the data dashboard is really good for parents to show this data to the school to say, "Hey, this is what we're working on." All right, next for guided practice, this is something new. It's Google Read Along, and I would compare it to Amira. So Amira in schools is more of a balanced literacy running records. It's an AI that can help students, kind of similar to Project Read AI, but this is a free Google version. So they have a lot of free books, and they have the student read aloud to the AI. And the AI, I will say it's not perfect. Like, you can make errors and it won't necessarily correct you, but it does help with that 10 to 15 minutes of independent practice a day. And there's a little gamified where students can earn stars and badges. So, what does this look like in a week? So, maybe once a week you're taking that parent training, learning a new skill alongside with your child. Daily, your child may be using an app that you feel comfortable in using, like Duolingo or Nessie Learning. 3 times weekly, you want to watch Reading Buddies together or watch Astronomical Learners videos together and talk about that mouth and sound practice. Daily, you might want to invest in that Project Read AI and commit to that 10 to 15 minutes of reading oral practice a day. And then monthly, you might want to use that project check, especially for the older students, because younger students, they're going to be making a lot of gains fast. But older students, you want to make sure that they are continually making progress, because if there's any instructional gaps, you want to address those gaps, not just skip over them. All right. So remember, if all of this sounds like too much, don't be afraid. If you still need support, remember, I am a tutor on the SuperProf website. So remember, my name is Mrs. Deanna. I have this YouTube channel. So if you want my free tier of resources, I have YouTube videos. On my website, I offer free printables. But if you want to pay me for my time, you can absolutely hire me as a tutor on SuperProf, hire me as a parent coach on my website, hire me as a tutor coach if you want to become a tutor. And then also, if you're a teacher looking for curriculum instruction recommendations, you can hire me as well. But once again, thank you for watching.